of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Welcome to Alaska Uncovered,
your guide
to the last frontier,
from wild landscapes
and hidden gems,
to rich culture
local flavors.
and thrilling adventures.
Each episode takes you closer to Alaska's raw and unforgettable beauty.
Whether you're exploring from home or planning your own journey, join us.
As we uncover
The real Alaska.
Good morning, good afternoon, and of course it is evening, but it is a bit, would you say it's a bit chilly, brother? Harry? It's a bit chilly, and I wonder why it's a bit cold in the studio. Probably because there's nothing quite as cool as Alaska Uncovered. Yes, we rehearsed that, and yes, we are very proud to state that this is a very cool studio because we are uncovering a lot of interesting things here in the 49th state, the last frontier, and there's just so much to talk about. So continuing on our season 2, yes, it is cold and there's still so much really to bear with this cold, but you know what, I think this gives us reason to reflect and actually understand a bit how we are able to adapt, actually, right? Believe it or not. So even before we even came here to Alaska, even though we were born here, born and bred, Sister Ira and I. Not. You're not. You came in from a place completely opposite. Completely opposite. Humid and hot and sunny. Right. However, you know, even before a lot of us came here, right, even before the city of Anchorage was very populous, right, from people all over the world, there were people who were already residing here in the state of Alaska and in these regions, these very Arctic sub-zero regions where, you know, even then, despite how cold it is, they managed to survive for so long. And how, right? How are they able to do this, right? And so not only is it their diet, right, their lifestyle, but one thing actually is our clothing, right? Right. And so we're actually going to investigate that. And if you saw the title of today's episode, it was Investigating Vestments. So yes, we are going to put our thinking caps on. We're gonna get our magnifying glasses, and actually, if you didn't see, it's off camera, but your brother Kaden, we are putting on our thinking caps on, maybe even our knees, if you will, and we're actually gonna understand it. Really actually reflect on today's wear, to wear the or winter wear that was used in the past. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. It was actually really fun to see. And so we're actually gonna not only test our crew's knowledge, but even our commenters. But before we get into our main topic, you know, we talked about the cold, but let's hear from our CWS reporter herself, Sister Bella.
Hello, my name is Sister Bella, and I'm TV Dot, and I'll be doing the weather report for today's INCRadio. In the city of Fairbanks, it'll be 6 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 14 degrees Celsius. The weather tomorrow will be cloudy, while the sunrise will be at 9:15 a.m. In the Anchorage region, it'll be 22 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 6 degrees Celsius. The weather tomorrow will be cloudy, while the sunrise will be at 9:03 a.m. While in the city of Kodiak, it will be 37 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 degrees Celsius. The weather tomorrow will be a mix of snow and rain, while the sunrise will be at 8:58 a.m. Lastly, in the southeast region, it will be 38 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 degrees Celsius. The weather tomorrow will be a mix of snow and rain, while the sunrise will be at 7:48 a.m.
Yes, thank you, Sister Bella. And you've heard it from her yourself. Yes, it's cold. It's not really, well, it's warming up a bit now. It's better than how it was last week, where it was, snowing.
Like right now, we're on the freezing point, and like sometimes it's like going a little bit higher than that.
Right, and it's gonna get bad later on in the season because when it starts to warm up and then it cools back,
everything's gonna melt.
It's gonna melt.
I mean, it's gonna turn into ice.
It's gonna rain, and so
So be careful.
Yes, be careful. Be very, very careful. And actually, not only us, we're actually facing quite, wintry, snowy conditions. Actually, some people in the lower 48 or lower 48, as in those other states in the other
Mainland
states.
US.
Yes, the mainland. Lower 48 is a very Alaskan term, actually.
Yeah, right.
But they're actually facing quite severe winters themselves. And have you seen some videos of it, Jairu?
I have not. I'm gonna be honest. I
Have not. You have
For
not.
me, I have not, but I saw it on the weather app. There's extreme weather condition warning for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the notification. I
And
saw the warning.
and their temperature is sometimes a bit colder than
Mhm.
us. So
Right. No, I saw the warning. I was excited.
Yeah.
No school. It's the lower 48.
yeah, it's lower 48.
So,
It's not us.
I heard
not
like,
us this time.
nah. Well, at least they get to actually see it for themselves, what it means, and they're actually having something different. They're having
They get to experience what we feel.
the enjoyment, but also
Yeah.
kind of it's actually kind of be quite inconveniencing too. Like I've seen people where their cars could not be me, could not be me. And we're talking about our weather, but let's actually check on our Alaskan. So, what is our Ask Alaskans question, Brother Kate?
Yes, so for today's Ask Alaskans question, which is also our YouTube comment question that you can answer down below in the comment section in the YouTube right now. The question is, what is your favorite winter accessory? So please put your answers down in the live chat and we will sure repeat it later.
Thank you, Brother Kaden. And actually, we're gonna start with you because I was just thinking about it when you put on his thinking cap.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what is your favorite winter accessory?
I would say maybe gloves and mittens. It doesn't really matter. Just something with my hands warm because there's not a lot of stuff that can keep your hands warm, unlike maybe like the top of your body. So
That's true. How about you, Sister Iroh?
Mine's would be the scarf because for me, I feel like it's a fashion statement as well. You can match your scarf to your outfit or make it the visual piece to your outfit.
So
That's true.
aesthetic.
It is very aesthetic, and it comes in. I've noticed actually it's actually been quite trendy to wear scarves. Not particularly just for winter wear, right? But just a nice accessory to accentuate the lines on your neck, right? Like you get thin scarves, right? But I think in particular, Star is mentioning like the thicker ones here, and yes, they can come in such an availability of different colors and patterns. So it really is.
For textures.
Yes, it really is fun to see, and actually. If you think about like coats and jackets, usually they come in the same color palette, right? Like blacks, grays, blues, whites, grays, beige, yada yada, right? And so having that nice pop of color is actually really nice, and not only that, it's functional,
Yeah.
right? And how about you, Brother Harry? What's your
For
favorite
me,
accessory?
my favorite is earmuffs because it's like a very
Earmuffs?
headphone.
Yes, it is cute, and it's like they also come in different sizes, right? And you
Yeah.
can see like some of them have like literally looks like stuffed toys on the end of your ears, and some are like these really thick fur ones and they're really cute. But they're also really comfy actually. And so, for a time I did use headphones, literal headphones, but when I switched to earmuffs, you know what? Quite nice, quite trendy, quite cute. How about you, Sister Bella?
Mine has to be sweaters, especially fluffy ones, because they keep you really warm.
Especially
Right.
that one
Yes,
that you're wearing right
especially
now.
Yes, and because even if though we have a coat, sometimes I can get a bit too stuffy, especially indoors, right? And so having already something that's warm enough underneath actually is quite useful. Quite useful. How about you, Sister Julia? What is your favorite winter accessory?
My favorite winter wear accessory po is gloves because oftentimes my hands are the quickest to easily get cold po.
That's true. Like I can attest to that. Like more often than not, a lot of people comment how cold my hands are, and that's me being
Yeah,
indoors.
my hands are always
Right.
cold too.
Imagine-
Sometimes it's hard to type on your phone.
Right, and imagine in the outdoors, like you're trying to open like the door, and especially if it's metal. So yeah, I think this calls to reason that I should get gloves, or I should at least use them. I think we're just so used to just put a jacket on, you're good, and we neglect the other parts of our body to keep warm. And so that's our Ask Alaskans. And later on, we'll be reading our comments for that. But what is our CFO in action, Sister Julia?
Thank you, Sister Ella. Hello, everyone. And now, for our CFO in Action segment, we will be looking at the Book Club monthly meetup and health checkup activity. Let's all watch this video.
That is our CFO in action. Thank you, Sister Julia. And that was our booklet brethren who are doing a medical checkup. So yes, keep yourselves warm, but also, make sure to maintain your health, especially when you're exposed to cold weather like that. Right? It's very easy to get sick. Not only injured, but sick. And sometimes that's even worse. Can you imagine? With fever?
Yeah.
So be sure to keep yourself warm. And actually, that is not only the booklet activities, this will also be coming up this coming Sunday for the Kadiwad, but not only will they be having a medical checkup, checking in blood pressure and all, but even a clothing drive. Very timely with our topic today, right? So, for our brethren who are interested in donating or even checking in to see if they need to, restock on some clothing items, be sure to come here in the Anchorage Function Hall at 4 p.m.
It's this Sunday, right?
Yes, this Sunday. So you will be seeing, not only winter wear, but there's other garments like casual wear and even formal wear. So if you are in need of that, be sure to tell other brethren to check it out for yourself. And now that we've talked about clothing, I think that's perfect. It's a perfect transition into our main topic. Finally, now let's put on our thinking caps on again. Everyone on studio, yep. Put it back on. Yes, and we have our magnifying glasses in hand. Pretend it's there. It's in there. So you're gonna investigate vestments, and I already mentioned that in our intro, but why are we going to investigate this? Because it's actually been long-standing. Fashion isn't something that is new, right? And of course, I think we understand fashion a bit differently nowadays, right? We see it more or less as a form of expression, but even beyond doing that, it was actually used for function, right? So we're going to investigate vestments, Alaskan Native winterwear, and you might actually be surprised in what we'll be learning in our presentation today. So before we learn anything, I think it's right to actually ask questions because that's where it starts. It starts with curiosity and a few questions. So trivia, yes, we're gonna do a trivia here on the studio, and not only will be asking our crew members, but even our viewers. So let's test. Maybe even our viewers might know more than us. Who knows? So, how many Alaskan Native culture groups are there? I'm very keen with the vocab there. Once more, how many Alaskan Native culture groups are there? Your options are A, 200, B, 6, or C, 5. Yeah, and let it settle in there. Let's settle on that big thinking cap. And I'm gonna go ahead and already ask Sister Bella, what is your answer?
My answer, I think I'm gonna go with B, 6.
6. You sure? Okay. Brother Harry, what is your answer?
I'm gonna go with 5.
5. Sister Iru, what is your answer?
I'm going with the letter B, 6.
I thought I was like, number B?
Number B. But there's 6.
So 6. So 6, 6, 5. 5. How about you, brother Keaton?
I'm gonna go with. Well, actually, I'm gonna do 6.
6. And I see in the comments we have from our brother Ronald 6. And I'm seeing 6, but our brother Grant says, I'm gonna guess A. Single digits feel low. Yeah, that's true, right? But, or that's just get you off track. You never know. You never know. But it seems like the majority is 6. But brother Harry, why are you choosing 5? He's very he just wants to. He's just feeling he wants to be a bit different.
Yeah.
But that might prove to be fruitful because the answer is, what is the answer? 5 major culture groups. So
I was right.
you were right, actually, surprisingly. So 200, yes. That seemed like 5 and 6 seems like a low number, but actually, 200. If you want to talk about in context, there is 229 tribes recognized. Tribes, right? But not culture groups, and that's a bit different, right? So we see, notice how in our weather report we talk about the weather in different regions of Alaska, and that it's applicable to some of our native Alaskan groups, right? And so because of different weather, of course, they've developed different, lifestyles. So we have up north, we have the Nupiaq, you have the Dene or the Athabascan. So that is even here in our region, here in Anchorage. We have the Tlingit or Haida, you have Yupik, and you have Supik. Or a lot of people recognize them as the Aliens or Aleutian Islands, right? And so you have this a big state, different regions and different cultures. So you have to really recognize that there's different ways that people live there. And we've recognized that right in season 1, right? There's not only do you have winter, but you have rainforests.
Yes.
Right? And you have coastal regions, right? And that calls for different ways of living. Now, what were the first snow goggles made of? So I feel like your answers are ice, leather, antler. What could it be? What could it possibly be? So ice, leather, or antler? What do you think? What do you think? Who have I asked first? You know what? I'm gonna actually ask our behind the scenes. Brother Jairus, what do you think the first snow goggles were made of?
We go there.
Antler. Going with C, antler. How about you, Sister Acro?
It's antler.
It's antler. Oh, it's confident.
Oh, confident.
It's antler. It's not maybe. It's antler. How about you, Brother Caden?
I would actually go with leather.
Leather. Sister Belai?
C, antler.
Antler. How about you?
Antler.
Okay, you're gonna be with everyone else this time? Except for Brother Caden. Why leather? Why leather?
My suggestion is probably because it's maybe more comfortable to wear and maybe more accessible, especially like before winter time.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I guess for some people, it seems more reasonable, right? Like a more comfortable material, right? We use it for gloves and other pieces of attire. And actually, goggles were originally made from leather. But for snow goggles, the very first one's made out of leather. Well, what's our answer? Well, our answer is antler. Actually, and one of the antlers, caribou.
Yeah.
Right, and so we're actually going to delve more into that. So I won't expand too much on that. But our last question for trivia: which of the following is not used for clothing? Not used. So there's fish skin, animal fur, or animal gut. This might require a bit more thinking. This might require just a bit more thinking. So we're thinking. Do we have our thought in hand? We have our answers. That's just Cairo. What is it? Yes. What is yours?
I think it might be fish skin.
Fish skin.
Yes.
You think a fish skin? Okay. How about you, Brother Gaten?
I would also agree with fish skin.
Fish skin. Okay. Sister Bella?
Animal.
Animal gut. How about you, Brother Harry?
Animal gut.
Animal gut. Okay, it seems split between those two. I mean, animal first seems reasonable, right? Because that's already part of a lot of our things.
Yeah.
Okay, and even like it seems like Sister is also saying fish skin. How about you, Brother Jairus? I'm gonna pick on him. You're gonna go with fish skin.
How about you, Sister Ella?
I'm the one who made this.
Oh,
I know the answer.
Okay.
Not only do I have my thinking cap, I have the knowledge cap on.
How about Sister Julia? What do you think?
Yes,
I'm gonna say animal gut po.
animal gut.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and then our answer is drumroll. 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 And our answer is all are you. What? Trick question. That was a trick question. But actually, all are you. So, so animal fur makes sense, but animal gut, fish skin. Well, imagine this. They've been a lot of Alaskan Native cultures have been here for like a long time. And so within that time span, a lot of trial and error, you learn different ways you can process material. So for fish skin, right? Again, what is it? It's you need to be very sustainable, right? Especially in limited places like cold weather, right? So you have to make the most of everything. And they really do make the most of everything. So not only the antlers, the bones, the fur, but even the inner linings of the animal, right? So believe it or not, sometimes the gut, if you can see on that corner there, that's actually made out of seal gut or whale gut. And it's because it's waterproof. Whoa, right? Isn't that cool? So there really is,
We're learning.
right? And like we wouldn't have really realized that because we're so used to material that we have now.
Mm.
We kind of forget, like, well, of course, the animals that are adapted to these regions, actually their whole body can be used in different ways, right?
Wow.
It's not interesting. And
Yeah.
actually, yes, survival.
Survive.
Like I was talking, right? If you're in the middle of the winter starter, would you be picky with what you would wear?
If I can't access a lot of the things that we have right now, I would not be picking at all.
Right. And how about you, Brother Caden? Like, if you were in a state like it's cold, it's freezing weather, you have limited resources, what would be your first thought with what you have?
Probably to ration out everything I have so that I can survive for the most amount of time that
Right. And so you want to, again, make the most of what you have. And so sometimes that even makes you more inclined to be creative,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, speaking about, creativity, let's actually look at some, items that we know that day to day, but were actually quite invented or originate here in Alaska, right? So snow goggles. So I think you can see in the corner, right? You know the big snow goggles, right? The very colorful ones that you see skiers wear, right?
Yeah.
Those who are outside a lot doing these winter sports. And yes, they're huge, right? They're big and they're something, honestly, kind of a fashion statement themselves, isn't it? But even before that, they were actually quite a simple but very practical design. So why would we need them? With snow blankets. So can you imagine, like, it's dark, and you open your phone?
Yeah,
Right?
right?
But, exactly like that. Think about it like that. It's in the snow when the terrain is completely white, right? Brother Caden, Sister Bella, can you stare directly at the snow when the sun's out? No, don't do it. Don't do it because it's very bright and actually it can burn your eyes. Actually, that's why Brother Eric, my dad, he actually wears sunglasses when he's driving in the wintertime because over time, exposure to that can actually be very harmful to your eyes. And so what they use the bone or antler or even driftwood, right? So really using what's limited resources they have to make something that will help them survive the winter time, later on. So I think it's narrow slits reduce reflected light. And so, right, you know how we cover our eyes from the sun? Right, and so like thing like that, yeah, it's limiting the amount of light that's entering your eyes, but just enough so that you can peer through and see. And it's custom fit, right? And because it's it's handmade, so they know how to shape it directly to the planes of your face. Isn't that interesting?
That's so cool.
That's very cool, and that's actually quite very stylish. When you say styro,
Yes.
right? And
Wear this.
I wouldn't mind wearing these. I wouldn't mind wearing these, and it's. Right, even though it has served a function later on, they would become more ornate with carvings and all that. Isn't that cool? And so, next is the parka. So everyone has a coat. This is not a coat; it's like a sweater. But we originally had a coat,
I
right?
do have a home.
At home,
Yeah.
right? So usually that's our main source of for warmth, for clothing protection. And the parka is actually the length of a jacket, like it's down to your thighs or down to your kneecaps,
Yeah.
right? That's technically the silhouette of a parka, and so you also recognize by the fur outlined on the hoodie. But and why is that? Why do you think there's fur around the rim of the hoodie?
keep your face warm.
To keep your face warm, right? And actually, it's also blocks wind from extreme cold. And depending on the fur, it's very important that the fur comes from an animal that is adapted to wintertime. Because if you ever seen like a dog, right, like let's say golden retriever going out into the snow, do you notice how the snow actually stays on their fur in comparison to like a husky, right, or a wolf? Well, yes, exactly that. So you want to make sure you have fur. Like I'm not gonna go out with there's like snow attached. No, but that's done to keep your face, warm, right? And it's adjustable as well, right? And even some
adjustable.
Yeah, it's adjustable, right? And so you see that it's not only that, it's very adaptable, and actually the part is also very breathable. Because you notice even in our coats, it's not dense. You see like these pockets of air, and that's so it's breathable. Because remember, not only are they keeping themselves warm, but they're also doing a lot of things, like they're hunting, right? Can you imagine the manual labor for that? And so they need something breathable, right? Keep them warm, but not for them to stay within their sweat, because that can actually get you sick later down the line. So, and what animals are used? Like I already mentioned, like wolf, caribou, even sea otter. Can you imagine sea otter? Why would you think they would use sea otter, Sister Bella?
Their skin is like thick, I'm pretty sure.
It's thick and it's dense, right? Like I think that's also what Sister Bella is saying, but it's also water resistant. Isn't that cool, right? It's water resistant. Actually, they used to be very expensive back then to catch them and to keep the pelt intact, because it's water resistant. Not only is it the fur, it kind of teethes with luxury, but it's also very functional. And I think that matters more than any kind of good looking fashion. Because what's the point of wearing a jacket if it's like made of glass? I mean, I guess for our artistic stage, but no, you want something that is not, it looks good, but it's most importantly, it keeps you warm. And so our last one is actually mucklucks. Have you heard of these before? No. Have you heard of these? Anyone heard of these? No. Okay, so these are boots. So these are used by Inupiat and Yupik, right? And so it was actually made from seal skin and caribou skin. Seal skin, yes, not like fur, but mostly skin. So they would process the skin, and why so? It's because it's moldable. So think about like a layer of skin, and also when you need balance, right? You don't want something that's too clunky. You actually want something that's soft. It molds with the terrain of the snow, right? And so it's not only that. Remember, like the gut, it's waterproof. So the skin is also going to be waterproof, but it's also going to be breathable. And again, soft soles improves traction on ice. So you can even think about yourself. Sometimes it's better to, have you ever realized this? Like when you're running, it's actually better to do it with like your socks or maybe even barefoot than it is with shoes, like very thick soles of the shoes. So it mimics that. So it makes you really adaptable to the terrain. Isn't that interesting? I think that's really cool. I actually did not know that. I just recently learned about this because of a class I'm taking in university. But even then, even for us who've lived here for quite a while, there is just so much actually to learn about and how people lived here even before we did. All right, Brother Jaden. And so conclusion, right? And you can see later on, yes, not only they were very functional, they utilized the article, but later on they did become a bit more ornate with the beadwork, right, and different colors. So what is your biggest takeaway from this, Brother Harry?
I like that they use different like materials, and it's not only for warmth but also for the like your skin can breathe.
Yes.
Like your body can breathe. So it's not only for warmth but like also for your comfort.
Right. And it's like there's different things you have to think about. Like you want to be warm, but you also want to be breathable. You want to move, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why you do like the length, right? It's so that there's so much to consider and to put into mind when you're crafting this for yourself and even for your own family, right? Think about
I like that it's adjustable.
It's adjustable, right? We're growing bodies.
Yeah.
I've stopped growing. I'm still 4'11", but I think it's still nice to have.
Do you just
something
remove your
that's adjustable. Maybe. I don't know if they will clip that. If they'll catch that.
No one heard that.
For those who know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you rewatch our lives, you may recall this information. So don't forget, you can still share this video or our live, even though we weren't able to catch it, live, literally. But there's always something for those outside of Alaska to learn about. How about you, Sister Ira? What is your main takeaway from learning about this?
It showed me that there is a variety of uses for animal what's it? Animal parts.
Yes.
Like the skin, the fur, the innards.
Mhm.
There's so many uses.
Right.
Like for different animals as well. Like fish.
Yes. Yeah, fish skin. I didn't delve into that, but maybe later on, like we might try it ourselves. We might see. Let's see. We'll have like a Alaska Uncovered like fashion like
Fashion show.
fashion show. Let's do it. Let's try it. Next episode. Speaking about next episode, we'll do that later on our episode. But how about you, Sister Julie? What is something interesting you found during our presentation?
It seems that she's still.
Yeah, it's like there's so much to reflect about. Were you surprised about the fish skin, Sister Julie? Because that was originally your answer, right?
Yes, but I was actually surprised. I didn't know po that they use fish skin for clothing. Yeah.
We wouldn't have known this because it's not really popular as compared to like animal fur, right? But maybe who knows? Maybe if earlier down the years it was popular, it would have actually been a common thing that we have worn, right? And so let's see. Actually, you know what? Any shout outs? Brother Harry, you gonna make any shout outs? Yeah.
Oh, my shout outs?
Yeah, you have any shout outs?
Oh yes, I would like to shout out my family, of course, Hinaraga, Castillo, Cortez, and my friends there in the Philippines. Shout out to all of you.
Yes, how about you, Sister?
I would like to shout out everyone who's viewing this right now. Thank you for watching INCRadio Alaska Covered, and hopefully we'll see you at the next episode as well.
Yes, please. And you want to know why you want to see them in the next episode? So we already talked about the history of some attire here in Alaska, but we're going to actually compare a bit more to present day.
Oh wow!
So we're going to actually have some people here on our live. We're going to judge their looks. We're gonna actually dig deep into how we dress nowadays. Because it's definitely different, but there are some elements that still carry on throughout the decades. Isn't that right? Right. That's very interesting. So what are your shout-outs? Dedicated.
First of all, I would like to shout out my family here, the Sabino family, the Lozada family, and the Buka family, and all of the brethren in the local congregation of West Anchorage. I love you all. And that's really it.
Love, heart, love. Yes. How about you, Sister Bella? Shout-outs.
I would like to shout out the Natividad family, the Tolson family, and my best friends, Liv, Leah, Savi, Ellie, Tim, and Krix.
She had to make sure she named everyone. It's like Natividad family. She forget her sister. Shout out her family. But we don't actually. We're overtime. Imagine we're overtime because there was so much packed into this episode, and unfortunately, we don't have time to mention all of our comments and their answers. But we were looking at them.
We'll make it up next week.
We might even begin our episode by reading our previous episode's comments. We might do that. So if there's still things you want to see, still things you want to make known to us, be sure to comment, on our live, but even under the video once it's posted after this live. So now, we're concluding the episode, so what does that mean? We have to go on to our acknowledgement. So we would like to acknowledge our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Aranio V. Manalo, our District Minister, Brother Astafil Caraig, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Santiago June Barzana Jr., and our District CFO Overseer, Brother John Michael Diato.
And yes, we would also like to acknowledge our District Multimedia Advisor, Brother Rick Santos, our INCRadio Station Manager, Brother Wally Taray, our Executive Producer, Brother Manly Andaya, our INCRadio Alaska producer, Sister Ella Andrea Bernilia, we in the Philippines for technical assistance, and also our on-site crew, Brother Darcy Tividat, and our cameraman, Brother Ronald.
Yes, and so that is the conclusion of this part, but there is a second part again that we are going to go dive into what are Alaskans wearing today.
Yeah.
So, we already have some people in mind that we're going to feature on our live, but if you want to show off your fashion, want to show off your winter wear, you can send us a video or even a photograph, and then we will feature you live next week on
Alaska Uncovered.
From the frozen trails to the ocean wide, hear the whispers of the northern lights, stories untold, wild and free. Come uncover what's beneath the trees.